Coming up on 6:47, time for the morning rush. The state's environmental department is now proposing a rule that would require employers to establish a heat risk and illness plan for workers. Now, employers, they would be required to conduct a heat exposure assessment and implement control measures like access to water, paid rest breaks, cooling areas, and personnel monitoring. If adopted, the rule would take effect on July the 1st.
The state auditor is taking action against one New Mexico county after millions of dollars in public funds recently went missing. State Auditor Joseph Maestas is launching a special audit against Mora County after a forensic accountant found $2.7 million of public funds is unaccounted for. The New Mexico Department of Justice has confirmed they're also reviewing Mora County's finances.
We're now hearing the story of a former juvenile offender who is turning his life around. It's with the help of a local organization. Christopher Herrera has been in and out of the juvenile justice system since he was 15. Well, since then, the now 21-year-old has worked on changing his life with the support of programs like La Placita, which teaches teens to give back to the community through things like food drives. Ryan.
And not as chilly of a start, an even hotter afternoon, and mostly calm in terms of the winds. A couple of sprinkles possible in the northeast highlands. Elsewhere, high wispy clouds moving through the four corners. And for the first time this season, Albuquerque could reach 90, if not tomorrow. Triple-digit heat in southern New Mexico and just a little bit windier.
Local leaders are calling for change in the way that youth crime is addressed in the state after the recent shocking video from the Bernalillo County Sheriff's Office showing two young kids handling a loaded gun. Local leaders are calling for more compassion for kids who have committed crimes, saying the problem is not something we can arrest our way out of.
An Albuquerque church is now starting the rebuilding process after a fire did extensive damage to their building. Brothers and Sisters in Christ Church in the International District went up in flames on Tuesday afternoon. AFR is continuing to investigate what caused the fire.
Cibola National Forest is urging visitors to stay alert as a bird species enters mating season. The forest says two northern grouse are guarding territory along trails near the Cienega and Sulphur recreational areas. The species is known to make loud alarm calls, swoop down, and in rare cases, make contact with intruders to protect their area. Ryan.
And temperatures on the rise ahead, but Memorial Day and Memorial Day week next week does appear that it'll be stormier and cooler, likely below normal temperatures from Tucumcari to Carlsbad, more likely above normal temperatures in the Four Corners, as it'll still be more likely than not mostly dry. Albuquerque, you may get a little bit of rainfall later this weekend to next week.
Two staff members of Israel's embassy in Washington, D.C. were shot dead outside of the Capitol Jewish Museum on Wednesday night. Police officials said that a single suspect was believed to be responsible for the shooting and was seen pacing in front of the museum beforehand. Now, he then reportedly walked into the museum after the shooting and was detained by security officers as he yelled, quote, "Free Palestine."
In a 215 to 214 vote, the U.S. House of Representatives passed the One Big Beautiful Bill. Two House Republicans representatives, Thomas Massie and Warren Davidson, voted against the bill, with House Finance Committee Chair Andy Harris voting present. The bill now heads to the Senate.
The lawyer for the New Orleans jail worker accused of helping 10 convicts escape says his client thought that he was simply unclogging a toilet. 33-year-old Sterling Williams says that he did not know about the men's plan to escape. His lawyer says that he was simply doing his job when he was called to check on the overflowing toilet. Williams says an inmate told him that he would shank him. 5 of the 10 inmates remain at large. Ryan.
And taking a look at traffic right now, getting a little bit busier out on the roadways, but still mostly smooth sailing traffic as cars are up to speed on the roadways. Taking a look at Tracker, heading south right now at Jefferson. Again, pretty calm traffic conditions for the most part. We'll have more updates later today.
You're not seeing double. Central High School in Pueblo, Colorado's graduating class of 2025 has 9 sets of twins. Some knew there were other twins in their class, but others found out when putting together the yearbook. They will all have one more moment together as they are set to graduate on Friday before going off to their next journey in life.
And now it's time for the 5 facts.
At number 5, Cibola National Forest is urging visitors to stay alert as a bird species enters mating season. The forest says 2 northern grousehawks are guarding territory along trails near the Cienega and Sulphur recreational areas. The species is known to make loud alarm calls, swoop down, and in rare cases, make contact with intruders to protect their area. The Forest Service says visitors should avoid the stops entirely or use extreme caution.
At number 4, an Albuquerque church is starting the rebuilding process after a fire did extensive damage to their building. The brothers and sisters in Christ in the church in the International District went up in flames on Tuesday afternoon. Albuquerque Fire Rescue quickly brought the flames under control, but the damage was done on the inside of the church. Yesterday, church members gathered to worship and hand out meals to the community. They are trying to raise money to rebuild while AFR continues to investigate the fire.
And at number 3, mostly sunny and heating up today. Now the winds will be mostly light. Tomorrow winds will pick up. We could be reaching 90 for the first time this season in parts of the Albuquerque metro. Triple-digit heat possible in southern New Mexico. Things will change closer, though, to Memorial Day.
At number 2, the state auditor is now taking action against one New Mexico county after millions of dollars in public funds recently went missing. State Auditor Joseph Maesta says that a whistleblower complaint is leading him to launch a special audit against Mora County. And after a forensic accountant found $2.7 million of public funds unaccounted for. The audit comes as Mora County is simultaneously managing $40 million in state wildfire relief funding. That's after the Hermit's Peak Calf Canyon fire. The New Mexico Department of Justice has confirmed that they are also reviewing concerns surrounding Mora County's finances.
And at number 1, we are hearing the story of a former juvenile offender who turned his life around with the help of a local organization. Christopher Herrera has been in and out of the juvenile justice system since he was 15. Since then, the now 21-year-old has worked on changing his ways with the support of programs like La Placita. The institute guides teens and kids through a court system while also teaching them to give back to the community through things like food drives and giving them outlets like art, building a network that holds them accountable and makes them feel safe. Herrera now works with the program, hoping to be a role model for the youth he mentors.